Today on the Christmas Drew Says podcast, we are going to be discussing creating content and art when you have absolutely zero inherent talent. Speaking from experience, I'll be giving you a terrible tech review of the Apple Watch Series Ultra, and that's about it, so go ahead and stick around. All right, we will sacrifice a bit of the frame and zoom in so that I can lean back, kick up my feet, and relax, bro, because it's going to be one of those episodes again. I think I may have sacrificed a bit too much because, okay, you can still see a little bit of my Charlie Brown Christmas tree, still trying to get into the mood. I implore you, kick up your feet, take off your shoes and socks, cool your little tootsies or warm them up, whatever the heck you feel like. I would love to join you, but there is a rule about feet and the internet. The rule being, don't do it because you know why. And frankly, for me, with feet like this, I don't think my bank account could handle the amount of money that would be flooding into it. Too much money. Oh no, we don't know what to do. What am I talking about? I need to brag for a bit. I need to brag because in modern times, it is very rare to find a man of their word and a man who is humble. I just so happen to be both, incredibly humble, and I do what I say I am going to do. Why am I bringing this up? This seems completely random. It's because on last week's podcast episode, I said that I was going to be doing something. And this week, I am following through with that plan, with that statement. I know, I heard you gasp. I heard the audible gasp of millions of audio files dying inside. What did I say I was going to do? Handhold a microphone for an entire podcast episode. Luckily, I didn't say I was going to enunciate or speak clearly because I am not doing that. So I can still be a man of my word and just mumble the whole time. But I am doing it. I am hand-holding a microphone this entire podcast episode. Can you tell? What microphone am I hand-holding? Is it the SM58, the SEV7, a specifically designed handheld microphone? Nay, I am not a coward. Understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I am not a coward. I am doing what very few before me have ever had the courage to do. I am hand-holding a Neumann, U87 Ai. A $3,700 multi-pattern studio large diaphragm condenser microphone. That's what I am doing. Why? Why am I following through with this idiotic idea? Frankly, I look forward to your fury, your anger, your sadness. Bring me joy. The fact that I know audiophiles will be freaking out thinking, oh my God, he's misusing that microphone. How dare he? That fills me with joy. Fills my bucket. Brings me so much happiness. The fact that people will say, oh gosh, if I had that, I would be a billionaire with all the records I would sell. And that I am recording a poorly planned out podcast with it just brings me so much joy. Doesn't say much about me though, does it? Kind of takes away everything that I'm bragging about. Being humble, being a man of my word, I guess those are still true. But it kind of indicates something much worse about me. Taking joy in others' suffering. Well, it's too late to change now. I hope that everybody realizes that I am just goofing off. None of these thoughts are real. Except the people who actually leave extremely angry comments. Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. I hate you so much. You? I am thrilled that you are pissed off. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, that is all that I have for the introduction that took way too long. Card 1, done. I am still doing the card bit, and my cards are out of order. This is a problem. The first thing that I want to talk about now Good thing I didn't say I was going to be good at this either. And it's perfectly fitting given the topic. I do not have talent. I am an untalented person who has accomplished some level of success. I know a few weeks ago I went on a rant about success. I don't view myself as successful, but people pointed out, yes, you may actually be successful in some eyes, and also the definition of success differs from person to person. The entire point being, I am not an inherently talented person, but I do a lot of stuff proficiently. I will say that. I am able to proficiently produce YouTube videos, proficiently produce podcasts, proficiently produce music. I have been playing guitar for 20 plus years. I have been making videos for 20 plus years, uploading them to YouTube for 17 years at this point. And I am proficient, but I am in no way, shape, or form virtuosic. I am in no way, shape, or form a master of my craft. I struggle every single time that I do it. This podcast episode is a perfect example of that. Earlier, I recorded for about 20 minutes thinking, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. Oh, I'm doing such a great job, only to realize I forgot to hit record on the audio. To this day, 17 years down the road, I still make those kind of mistakes. When I think of a master of their craft, this is what I'm trying to get at. A master of their craft, in my mind, ceases to have any barriers in their area of expertise. For example, with a musician, they may be wanting to create a song about a breakup. And instead of going through the analytical process like somebody like me would, somebody who is not a master, somebody who has to follow the rules or tries to follow the rules to make sense of what they're doing, I would think, oh, after a C sharp minor, let's go to an E major and then an E major, and then we'll go up to a G sharp major, maybe even then G sharp major, G sharp 7, and then act as a secondary dominant to go back to the C sharp minor. Oh, this is so cool. It makes sense. This is what music theory teaches me. That is my approach because I am not proficient. I am basic. I am capable, but I am not a master. What a master would be doing is, this song is about heartbreak. This song is about the suffering that follows losing somebody that you love with all of your being, somebody who makes you a better person. And they will think, an E flat 7 add 13 going to a D sharp, which is the exact same chord, that would be ideal. That would be the perfect way to convey this emotion. They think of how to convey their ideas as opposed to what makes sense technically. And I think that's what differentiates people like me, talentless hacks, who brute force their way through life, and somebody who is truly artistic and truly talented. Those truly talented people will, yes, of course, spend thousands of hours feeling around in the dark, trying to find out how to accomplish X, Y, or Z. But once they get past that, they are able to achieve a certain level of end product that is awe-inspiring. Those are the people that we look up to, in my opinion. The Tim Hensons, the John Mayers, the Eric Claptons, the Jimi Hendrixes, the Taylor Swifts. Those are the people who have that inherent talent, and then they take the time to hone their crafts. The craft ceases to become any kind of barrier, and the only thing that's left is, this is the artistic output that I am trying to convey. I will not struggle with the music. I will not struggle with any of the technical aspects. It will just flow out of me. And that's what's missing from a lot of us basic people, us untalented people. to sound a bit negative. We lack that soul in the end product because we're too focused on trying to make sense of what we're doing as opposed to conveying something emotional or artistic or personal. That's just something that I have been thinking about, and musically, it's something that I am able to tie together in my head to make sense. Otherwise, it would just be some kind of abstract rambling that doesn't make sense to anybody. This already might not make sense to anybody, and people might not care, but it's a bit too far into this to start over, so we're going to keep going. This also applies to actors. If you look at bad acting, a lot of the bad acting, it's clear that the actor is focused solely on trying to memorize the lines. A great actor embodies the lines, embodies the characters, and becomes that character, so they aren't remembering the lines, they are saying them for the first time. With YouTubers, they are able to tell a story so flawlessly and fluidly that it sets them apart from the pack. I think that is what makes an amazing YouTuber. They are able to tell a narrative story in whatever niche they are in, whether it's audio, whether it is in film, whether it's in phones, cars, vlogging, any of them, they are able to create an enticing narrative story. Not me. Not me. I do not have that inherent talent. To get where I am, which is not very far, it has all been accomplished through repetition. When I was playing guitar for 1 year, for thousands of hours, I was not learning how to play speed metal symphony, which is just bonkers. I still can't sweep pick, and I've been playing for 20 plus years. I will never have that in my repertoire. Other guitarists will say, I have that in my repertoire, I will use it tastefully. I will say, I can't do that, I will never have that in my repertoire, and I will never be able to call upon that if the emotional requirements of a song dictate that I ought to. Videos. I have made probably over 1,000 videos now. Spent tens of thousands of hours to get the quality that I have right now. And it's still a questionable quality to many people. Many people make significantly better videos than me. I have accomplished what I have accomplished in the most difficult way because it's the hand that was dealt to me. Not having that inherent talent, not having the ability to pick up the guitar and play speed metal symphony, not having the ability to pick up a camera and shoot Jaws. As if I could. No, not going to be able to. The point of me bringing this up is not to have a pity party. I'm not saying, oh, poor Bandrew doesn't have the talent. That's not the point. The point of it is I may be giving somebody the okay to start making art, to start making videos, to start making music, to start writing that book, to start doing whatever it is you feel the drive to do. You just don't have the talent. We may not ever reach the heights of the greats. That's fine. Who cares? Why do you want to be the most famous in any field? That seems terrible. Having all the eyes in the world on you, that seems more like a burden than a joy. So I want to give you the okay. Take the time. Put in the work. I am not saying that you will be the most famous in the world. I am not saying you're going to make the greatest art in the world. I am saying there's joy in that journey. There is joy in putting your nose to the grindstone and saying, I'm going to play guitar an hour a day. I'm going to play guitar 2 hours a week. I'm going to make one video on YouTube per week because I find it fun to do. I may not get famous, I may not get rich, but I am going to enjoy it. And after 10 years, in 15 years, 20 years, maybe there will be some decent content, some decent art that you have made. Through brute forcing it, not through sheer inherent talent through learning, through trial and error, through iteration. There is nothing wrong with trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing, because with every single failure of a song, with every single failure of a video, with every single failure of a film, you are learning something to not do the next time you make that content, the next time you make that art. So I know this is turning into some kind of hippy-dippy, hey, you can do it, pal, go out and get 'em. And that's kind of cringe. But I don't know. This is something that's just been going on in my head, and I wanted to share it. This may not be news to anybody. Maybe I am just saying the famous thing. Oh, spend 10,000 hours to become a master of your craft. Maybe I'm saying 10,000 hours, yeah, I'm still not a master of my craft. I don't think I ever will be. And that's fine. So if you have the urge to make art, if you have the urge to paint, to write a book, I need to restart this camera. What was I saying? If you have the urge to make an album, if you have the urge to write a book, if you have the urge to make a home movie, do it. Don't let the fear of being a failure stop you from doing it, because through that failure, you will improve. I am living proof of that. I have been making terrible stuff for 20 plus years to get where I am now, and you may be thinking, oh my God, it took him 20 years to get that bad? He should be way better. Yeah, probably. But I don't have that inherent talent. When it comes to video, I don't have the eye to make fantastic looking video. I have come to terms with that. I have my cameras set up how I like them, and now I don't think about them at all. I just allow my note cards to go in front of my mouth and block my voice and sound terrible. But the cameras are no longer a concern for me. I have them set up. I have them color graded in the camera, and that's as far as I'm going, because any more and my brain breaks because my eyes are broke. So I have come to terms with that. With radio, I don't do radio. With podcasting, sure, I may listen to somebody like Mike Delgadio and think, oh my gosh, listen to that voice, that inherent talent that he was born with. I will never be Mike Delgadio. I will never have a voice like Mike Delgadio. And that's fine. I may listen to Larry from that Larry show and say, oh my gosh, listen to that sonorous voice. I will never have that voice. And do you know what? That's okay. Why am I whispering like Joe Biden? I don't know. But that is fine. It's fine that you aren't going to be the greatest. It's fine that I am not going to be the greatest. It is fine that I have my limitations, and I will continue to try to improve upon them. I have improved significantly in my speaking ability, in my presentation ability. If you would have seen the early episodes of this podcast, if you go back and watch the early videos on Podcastage and listen now, you will hear a significant difference in my presentation style, in my speaking style. I am much more comfortable, much more natural. I won't ever be one of these great radio voices. I'm not going to have Leo Laporte's voice. Ain't gonna happen. I have my voice. That's the way it goes. Deal with it. Learn how to improve with what you have and focus on it. Spend those 10,000, or in my case, 100,000 hours out there to get to a decent level, a proficient level, as opposed to a great level. It's okay to not be the best. I don't know what the point of any of this is. I am not advocating for mediocrity. That's not what I'm advocating for. I don't think you should be okay being mediocre. I think you should realize your shortcomings and try to improve upon them. I just don't think that all of us need to be the greatest there ever was. Am I quoting the Pokemon song? I don't know how we got there. We all don't need to be Ash Ketchum. I guess that's the takeaway. I am not Ash Ketchum. I will never have a Pikachu. And that's the extent of my Pokemon knowledge. That's all that I wanted to talk about there, I guess. If I edit this and it makes no sense, so be it. Sorry, that's what you're getting. I didn't even feel like recording today, but here we are. The next thing that I want to talk about is a what you had to say from Derek Sutton. I don't have the comment because I just have a note card, and he left a comment saying, hey, what are your thoughts on the Apple Watch Ultra? Because all of the reviews that I have seen have been overwhelmingly positive. Let me know what you think. Derek, thank you very much for the comment. I really do appreciate it. Great question. I should probably do a proper review video of the Apple Watch Ultra. I am not the best person to review it, though. That is why I am classifying this as a terrible tech review of the Apple Watch Ultra. First thing I will say, the battery life of this sucker is incredible. Having more than 1 day battery life on a smartwatch is ideal now. I don't think I could ever go back to a watch that has a battery life of a day. It's an absolute nightmare because now you can have sleep tracking, you can charge it while you jump in the shower, and it's good to go for the next 24 hours. I absolutely love that. I do also like the sleep tracking. As I mentioned, I like being able to track that. But do I use this like most other people use their smartwatches? No. As I've mentioned many times before, I wear an analog watch on my non-dominant wrist, which is where you wear a wristwatch. You wear a wristwatch on your non-dominant wrist because you're less likely to damage it by moving around and smacking it on stuff. I use this watch, an analog wristwatch, to tell the time, and that's the primary use of a watch for me. This Apple Watch is solely for fitness tracking and for listening to audio while I'm out and about. As far as notifications are why I stopped wearing a smartwatch for, well, also paranoia, but notifications is why I stopped wearing a smartwatch for about a year and a half, because I started to feel phantom buzzes on my wrist, and that freaked me the heck out. So I don't have any apps on here other than the default apps. Oh, and Overcast, because that's my podcast app. So I have a podcast app and just the Apple apps on here, and the notifications for every single application are shut off. Also, as I lift up my wrist, if you're watching the video, you will notice the screen does not turn on. Why is that? I have this watch in theater mode permanently. That way the screen does not turn on because I don't want to use it. I really don't like it. I don't like smartwatches because I am paranoid. But I am trying to get healthy and live a longer life, so I am okay with that mental manipulation that it does for the time being. Eventually I'll take it off, throw it in a drawer, and forget about it. But for the time being, it is assisting me in losing weight, and it is hopefully assisting me in getting to a... I don't know why I add a D at the end of a lot of words. It's something I've realized over the past couple of months. It's not in. It is helping me get in better shape and hopefully helping me live a longer life so I can scream at you on the internet for a longer period of time. My biggest complaint about this thing is the thickness and how large it is. It is a very chunky watch. It does not go under a cuff. If you wear a dress shirt, if you go to work in a dress shirt and you have this watch on, it's going to be sticking out like an obnoxious tumor on your wrist all the time. I hate that. The action button is nice, but it's a bulky watch. If the regular Apple Watch had 2 days of battery life, I probably would have gotten that. But as it is, this has the best battery life, and frankly, my father was excited about it, and it was an excuse to nerd out over a watch together, so that's why I have this now, and it's why I wear it. I don't know if that was a helpful review at all. It's more a personal preference. I don't like it because it's stealing my data and sending it to Apple. I don't know what Apple will do with it. I don't like how large it is. I like the battery life. I like the action button, so I can just hit the button and say start outdoor walk. That's about it. Hopefully that gave you some insight, Derek. I appreciate you very much. That is all that I've got for you today. This was a weird episode. I think the entire recording and then realizing you're not recording threw me off. Also trying to get into the mood with my Christmas tree, with my light and Christmas lights, my sad stingle strand of lights back here. Just off my game today. But an episode needs to be released. Or I guess not, it doesn't have to be, but it's going to be. I'm going to put this out because it's the end of the year. It's time to be honest. I learned that from watching Love Actually. Yes, I watched Love Actually. Why did I watch Love Actually? I don't know, but I did. It was a Christmas movie. It was there. That is all that I've got for you today. I appreciate you watching and listening. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next Sunday, I will talk at you in a Santa hat. I love you so much. Talk to you then. Bye-bye. Whoa, whoa, boop.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer is Bandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.